did some work, didn't they, on the career mode? So like when you do a draft, it's got the cutscenes at the stage and you walk out and everything, don't they?
Well, is it going to be DHL, Yodel, or
What?
Royal Mail?
What? Who's delivering it? You mean?
Well, you just said it, the 2025 career mode.
Yeah, right. I think it's drops
It's going to
parcels
Seoul.
daily.
That's why it's career mode.
Drops parcels daily.
Yeah,
So,
we have delivered your parcel into 3 streets along into
yeah.
Canal. Yeah,
I told you before about I think it was Yodel. It was one of them anyway that was delivering a. You know when Amazon before Christmas get other companies to ship their stuff out.
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it was Yodel. Anyway, I bought a TV for my dad, and I thought, because my dad had like a shit telly, and I thought I'll get him. Tellies aren't that expensive anymore, are they? So I'll get him a better telly. So I got it, and it said it'd been. I got back from work. It said it'd been delivered. So I went. Well, it hasn't. Had a look around, checked with the neighbours. No, haven't seen anything. Other side. Oh, he's not there. So I'm going to touch with Amazon. I went, "Is this as it was delivered?" Do you know where it was delivered to? Because I can't see it. And they sent a photo, and it was put on top of the recycling bin.
Oh, no way.
Right on the day our recycling's collected.
Oh.
So there's a box on top of the fucking recycling bin. Right. So I'll go, right. Well, I haven't got it and it's not delivered. So can you send me another one? This is meant to be like a present and stuff like that. So they did that. I got another one like a week later because that was the last one in stock or something. And then one of my next door neighbours got back from his holiday and went, "Oh, I got that parcel off the recycling for you because I saw the bin
class.
men were coming."
That's class.
Straight on eBay.
Well, no, what happened was obviously I gave one of them to my dad.
Yeah.
And the other one, I was still within the return window for Amazon. So I just sent that one back again. So my dad got a free telly.
Excellent.
So everyone wins apart from Amazon.
Who don't pay tax anyway.
Who don't pay tax. Therefore, they deserve to lose.
Absolutely, every single time.
It's a Christmas miracle.
I like the one where then they started taking photographs. Then they take a photograph and they put it on a concrete slab or something. It could be anything. It could be anywhere in the world. It's like on a paving stone. We'll take that, and that's it. There's no background. It's just a paving stone. They could be in Basingstoke, for all I know.
Saw Scroobius Pip the other day on online. He was saying that your thing has been delivered, and he hadn't received it. So he checked to see the photo of it, and the photo was clearly taken on the bar in a pub.
Shocking.
So Pip got in touch with DHL or whatever. He went, "I'm not a pub."
Do you know when you can get it delivered to a safe place, sort of thing? Well, your house is a safe place, but you're going to go and pick it up.
Switzerland.
Yeah, always neutral. So I put it down. Oh yeah, I'll get it delivered to the post office. It gives you can have it home delivered, but if it had to be home delivered, you have to get it signed, or you can leave it at a safe space. So the nearest one to me was the post office. Okay, so it's gets this message saying your parcel's being delivered. Brilliant. Pops onto the post office next day. And, hey, yeah, I'm going to pick up a parcel. What name's it? Give him a name. Oh, we haven't got it. Oh, it says here it's been delivered. Excuse me. Let's have another look. Didn't find it. So that's strange. Then this bloke comes out. He goes, "Oh no, we sent it back." I said, "What do you mean you sent it back?" I said, "Well, you don't live here." Well, I know I don't live here, but this is like I come to pick it up. No. So I got hold of Alistair and I said, "You sent it to a part, and I had it you to send to a post office to pick it up because that's what you're using as like a contact point." I said, "I've gone, and apparently they give it you back." "Yeah, because you weren't there to sign for it." I said, "Well, no, that's why I chose the post office." "Oh, right. So were you there though when they came?" "No, I weren't there." And I went round the house anyway. They refunded me all my money, which was quite a bit of money actually, about 200, 300 quid.
206.
And I got all my stuff as well. So they apologised and sent it to my house. And although they did make sure I was there, I said, "Don't put shit like that on if you haven't got a clue at post office." Like, yeah.
Isn't it meant to? I thought that the idea of those like alternative places were they're alternatives because you're not going to be there.
It's exactly that. Yeah.
If you were going to be there, you'd probably have it at your house, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely clueless.
It just makes more sense that way. I mean, anyway, enough of this week's Watchdog. Should we move? Is that program still on? Is that a 90s reference?
I don't know.
I really don't know.
It'll be on in the day or something, won't it?
Yeah.
Who does it now? Still Alice Beer.
I thought it was Anne Robinson.
It was. Then she died or something. Then Alice Beer came on and did it. Who used to
fucking hell.
co-present it? Yeah.
Is she like the Susie Dent of Watchdog?
She's like the Judi Dench of James Bond.
What?
Still
Not
can't
in
get over
it for ages.
Yeah. I still can't get over that. 280 now, Edgy.
No,
I thought you meant Judi Dench
I
was
was gonna
280.
I'll tell you what, she
doesn't look a day over 110.
She's off that stupid advert in she Money Supermarket or something like that. Or Save Your Money or something. What's it called? That she thinks she's still
it's a sign of a good advert when you can't remember what
Money
company it's for.
She's practically blind now, isn't she?
She must be doing the shit like that.
Yeah, I'm sure she is.
Go and save some money, and these like Charlie's Angels or women just go along, jumping here, there, and everywhere. There you go, £25 voucher for Amazon. That's great, thanks. I know I'm still doing consumer here, but I never understood that. You'll see things on adverts and they say, sign now and you'll get a £75 Argos voucher. Just knock 75 fucking pound off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Argos won't be taking a 75 quid hit, will they?
No,
and also the Argos voucher will be something like you have to spend £8,000 in order to get 75 quid off. Please read the small print.
Just before we go into NFL, I've seen something really funny today.
We're in it's all right. For the first time ever, we need the filler this week.
Yeah, and it was an old Bullseye clip, and it's not even the one with the diet on either. So it's not that woman. Where they say, oh, you did a sponsored diet, and they said, how much do you owe? Not that one. Okay. So they get to the final dart bit where it's the 101 or more in 6 darts. Yeah. And this bloke comes along and no, listen, we've won £400. We've got a toaster. We're going to keep the money. Yeah, no worries. Okay, then. They've had a lovely day. Off they go. Next 2 come out.
You got your bendy bullies.
You've got the bendy bullies. Next 2 come out, and it's like a Jason Robinson look-alike wannabe, and they've won £400.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, Jason Donovan.
Scott Robinson, Jason Donovan's character from Neighbours.
Yeah.
Okay, now you talk.
Yeah, so they come out and he's got this bleach, blonde hair, big
shirts
on. You know him, like, and said, well, earlier on you won £400. Are you going to gamble that £400? He goes, well, no, because whatever it's called, Stu is going to Australia, so we're going to put it forward for his trip to Australia. Oh, okay, then, so you don't want to gamble? No, that's fine. Off they go.
400 quid to go to Australia.
Good, isn't it? So off they go with £400, and Jim Boyne goes, fair play to the lads, £400, it goes a long way. I thought, yeah, to France. Then the last 2 come out, 2 women, like Deirdre Barlow, they were, come out, non-daughter first, 85, non-daughter. They always pan out, don't they, for non-daughter, and they've got half at studio in, and she's just whamming it
so they're covered if it goes in Tony Green's head.
Anyway, she's got 85, and next one, daughter comes on, 19, won it. Jim Boyne's like in his elephant and all this lot, and the women are jumping up and down.
Silly.
Absolutely. The Tony Green's just underneath him, ready to catch it all. And he goes,
filthy show, Bullseye.
Let's see what you've won. And it was a fortnight in Australia.
To Australia.
It was, yeah.
Oh well.
Anyway, that was all I've got really on consumerism and Bullseye.
What was the point of that story?
It was basically because the guy who won 400 quid turned it down because we're saving for a trip to Australia, and the girls had won it and off to Australia.
I understood the story. It's just I wondered why you'd brought it up.
It was quite the segue.
Yeah, my mother-in-law's just gone to New Zealand.
Jamaica?
No, they went there last time. No, they went there last time. And they went to Singapore and they stopped there for 3 days. So that breaks up a little bit. And they're coming back and stopping at Singapore for 3 days. I last went to New Zealand maybe 25 years ago, and they were offered to go to Dubai. You could go to Dubai. I said, "Oh no, I don't like it in Dubai." I said, "Why is that?" I said, "Well, we've never been, but it don't look good." What are you looking at? Anyway,
No, that's still. Hang on a minute. That still didn't answer my question, though.
go on.
Which is, why did you start telling the bullseye story?
I was just saying because it was one of the funniest things I've seen.
Oh, right. Okay. So there was no direct.
Nothing.
Right.
Well,
okay.
Was it Dirk Vermeil? Sorry, was it Dirk
Dick
Vermeil?
Dick Vermeil, yeah.
Dick Vermeil. Dick Vermeil.
That's
what Brian says. He has Dick Vermeil.
Dick Verpudding.
Spotted one.
We haven't started yet. We've got a fucking title.
Review of last week's games.
We'll start with one that we all got wrong. Chargers at Texans. Chargers 12, Texans 32. Wow. We did not see this coming, did we?
No. You did, kind of. G.
I said, are the Texans saving something for the playoffs?
And are the Chargers going to bottle it? I remember you saying.
The Chargers and Steelers have had similar seasons in that their offense has spent the least time on the field out of all the playoff teams, and the defense has gone into the postseason looking fucked. It doesn't surprise me that much. I mean, you staked lots of points on this because you were very sure that the Chargers would win. Yeah. I was far less sure that the Chargers would win. I'm surprised the Texans won by as much as they did.
Mm.
It was almost like for the last four games of the season, the Texans are sort of all their stars, Mixon, Collins, whoever, had just sort of flicked a switch off.
Yeah.
And somebody on Sunday or whatever the game was, I can't remember, Saturday, just flicked that switch on because they were electric. That's how it seemed.
So Edgy, is this a case of you are in charge of your own division? You know you're going to win your division, therefore you only need to play at 60% to win that division, knowing you're going to get in the playoffs. Then you get to playoffs, it's a risk, but then everything clicks to the playoffs.
Possibly.
It's the old Patriots trick. They did this for 15 years, knowing that they were in the shittest division.
The Patriots, though, I think, yes, they definitely will have done that. But when you compare the two teams, it's night and day. Patriots, the Texans are nowhere near like the Patriots. From a sports psychology point of view, I would say it's a really, if that's what they've consciously gone about setting up their game plan, it must be really dangerous because how can you sort of not be switched on for 3
But is it more
games?
likely to be a subconscious thing where they know 4 or 5 weeks ago they're going to be in the playoffs? They're going to be, and also they knew they were going to be the 4 seed, so they knew they had a home game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't imagine
even if it's not deliberate, you're going to have that at the back of your mind, aren't you? That I don't want to get injured. I'm not going all in.
Yeah,
I can't imagine the coach has physically said to them, "Look, take it easy out there for these couple of weeks. Don't worry about it." So it probably is subconscious, but the difference between the performances was massive.
Yeah,
that was literally the Texans from last year. From the end of last season when they were flying, that's what they were playing like, and we haven't seen that side of them pretty much all season.
The game before, who did they play? And they were getting booed, and they were terrible with Texans.
The Titans,
Ravens. It was the game before that.
Oh no, they were Ravens, yeah,
and they were awful.
Yeah, the Christmas game,
getting booed, and the Christmas game.
Yeah, they were shite in that game. They got 2 points. That's very bad.
And that's what basically I put my points on. Think they were a done team, but they've woke up now. Yeah, when it matters.
It's all about hitting form at this time of the season, isn't it? It's the thing. I mean, as much as I hate referring to the glory days of the Patriots and Burt Bacharach, they always came good in the playoffs. They always timed it so they were peaking at the right time.
Yeah. So Chiefs are this year.
Well, we yet to see the Chiefs yet in the playoffs, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
Well, I think it's going to be a very similar story all season. Well, particularly you two have been sort of saying, "Oh, they're really poor," and yes, they've been poor, but they've done enough to win.
Mhm.
And I think the script has been pointing towards this. I can see them going out on next weekend and putting up
I've
40 points.
I've said about 2 teams this year that they were going to fuck it up in their first playoff game. One of those came true. The other one hasn't played their first playoff game yet. So I will hold that over to next week. Possibly not. I'm not sure enough to put points on it, I don't think, or loads of points on it. But, it's like I say, it is hard to flick a switch. And the Texans managed to do it. Can another team do the same thing? I don't know. And also the Texans, they're now in a position where they've got nothing to lose.
Absolutely. And
They're the outsiders. So
pressure's off them. Nobody's expecting anything from them, are they?
also AFC, same 4 teams as last year. We might as well talk about it. Steelers 14, Ravens 28.
Baltimore, so we can talk about.
Sorry, we ran out of time to talk about Baltimore.
They did look very good. I only watched the first half, and I think it was 21 zip, and you just knew they were going to win. But Derrick Henry, immense. Lamar, just too good.
That's it. The difference between that first game we played and the last 2 is we stopped Henry in the first game and we didn't stop him in the second and third game.
Can they make the Super Bowl, do you think? Are they favourites?
Well, we may come on to that in our predictions later, but
stick with us for another 3 hours of scintillating football.
Or 3 minutes by the time the edit's up.
But I'll tell you what I do like with G, look, he predicted it's going to be a long one. He's even ready for bed.
Of course I am. It's a fact that everyone feels 11% cozier if they're in their Jimmy Jammies.
That's a fact.
It's a fact that the Billy Bob bullshit bollocks just told me.
Yeah, I think Ravens are a team that could actually go on and win it, depending on Lamar again. If he can,
if he's in that form,
it's going to be hard to stop him. I think.
Yeah,
I think our run defense, even when the defense was playing well, our run defense was our weakness, and the Bills' run defense is a bit better.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see, because if you force them in a position, we've said it before, you force them into a position where Lamar's got to throw it, and that's their go-to play, I think the Ravens struggle then at that point.
Isn't it strange when you?
If it's an option, it's different. If they have to do it, then they struggle.
If you go player for player, you would say that the Ravens have a better team, better player personnel than the Bills do.
Yeah,
really, but
player for player. But I wouldn't say that the Ravens are a better team than the Bills.
No, Bills are a better team, but then the Ravens are better players. It's the old adage, isn't it?
Yeah. So you need those players to turn up, and basically those players who have been turning up the last few weeks are Henry and Jackson.
Yeah.
And if one of them doesn't turn up, then they're going to struggle. I think we hope so anyway. Okay, we've kind of given away who won the next game. Broncos 7, Bills 31. Broncos scored first, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, was it 2 plays on it from the first drive? And
it's got really early. I remember going, oh fucking hell, and then
we're in for a game here.
Yeah,
and then he just scored like 28 unanswered points. It was like,
I've said a few times this year that the Bills have started slowly in loads of games and just kind of accelerate away as the game goes on, and they did it again here. The
Broncos made it slightly easy for them.
They weren't great.
They weren't. No.
Was there something wrong with Nix?
He's a rookie quarterback playing in a fucking huge game. That's what happened.
And if there's one game this season that has showed that he's a rookie, it was probably that one.
That one.
And also, he's playing against the Bills, and I don't think I think the Broncos defense has been looking tired in the last few weeks as well. So they needed a big game from him to give them any chance. And he just looked like a lost little boy out there at times, didn't he?
What tended to happen is if his first read wasn't on,
Yeah.
he'd got this predetermined decision, right, I'm going to run it. And once the Bills sort of cottoned onto that, he had nowhere to go.
So he was playing with like happy feet, just like it wasn't open. Because I saw a couple of players where if his first receiver wasn't open, he took off. He never looked or scanned the field. He didn't go left to right or right to left. And he did have times on plenty of occasions to do that, where he looked at his first target, it only tucked it in and went. In that.
That's what I mean. It was almost like he had that in his mind, right? If the first read's not on, I'm going. And like I say, once the Bills sort of cottoned onto that, it was relatively easy to stop him.
Yeah. But still a good season for him.
Mitch Trubisky came in at the for the last quarter. That's how easy it was for
rude,
the Bills.
That's just rude.
I know we said it with the Chargers. If you'd have said to the Chargers fan, if you got to the playoffs, would you have been happy? They said, yeah. Same with the Broncos. If they're, if you ask their fans,
I reckon they'd have taken like 6-7 wins this year. So for them to reach the playoffs is amazing.
Yeah, I think so. Is it amazing for us? Does it show you the lack of quality that's been out there this season? Although they have played well.
They have, and also I think there is that little asterisk against them for winning their final game to get in.
Yeah, the freebie, wasn't it?
I think in another season the Dolphins are in there. In another season the Bengals are in there. So would I say that the Broncos are the 7th best AFC team? I don't think so.
No.
Well, I do think the NFC, they're the best seven teams. I don't think that's the case in the AFC.
Yeah.
I'd argue that Steelers wouldn't be in the top 7 teams either.
No, I get that, yeah.
And it'd be more entertaining if the Dolphins and Bengals were in the playoffs over the Steelers and Broncos.
Because they're completely against you, aren't they? Opposite of what the Steelers are, because you've got the Dolphins and the Bengals who are totally offensive.
The Bengals have got no defense.
Exactly.
But what cost the Dolphins was not having a replacement quarterback when he was out.
Correct.
That was what cost them. So, but if Josh Allen gets injured, then we could see Mitch Trubisky in the Super Bowl. And similarly, Packers 10, Eagles 22. Something happens, Jalen Hurts. We can see Kenny Pickett in the Super Bowl.
It's happened before with backup quarterbacks of Philadelphia.
Just imagine if they're both last season's Pittsburgh quarterbacks end up playing in the Super Bowl.
They'll be going back for him.
I don't think they would, because at no point would anyone go, remember the good old days with Kenny Pickett at QB?
No. So Packers, I've said this, I think, for the past. Well, when J Love went out injured, he came back. It took a couple of games to get going. Then it seemed to get going, picked up pace. But they've never, ever convinced me at any time that they're a deep contender for a playoff run. I think they got as far as it did, and I think that is what they were worth. I don't think they're worth any more than that. And of course, they came up against the Eagles, who were my prediction for the Super Bowl, and the Eagles are a great team. But they did have a guy, linebacker, who went off injured, forgot his name, but him and this other guy who played, because they play 3-4, play hybrid 3-4-3. They've been really good at middle. He'll be a big loss for them. But I did like that little touch release of Saquon Barkley at the end. He could have gone and got another touchdown, and he just slid down.
Team first, doesn't he? He's doing
team
first.
That sort of player. There's been a couple of occasions this year when he's taken these decisions where he could have had personal gains. There was one very early on in the season where, what do you say, let the kids eat or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't think players who don't do it are necessarily not thinking of the team. It's just instinct in a lot of cases. Yeah. Where he's obviously probably a little bit smarter, he's a little bit more switched on, so he knows before the play, if I get first down, I'm going down.
To be fair, he could have just ran it in. There was no danger of anyone catching him.
But... Yeah, but then you give the ball back to the other team, don't you? And once you give the ball back, it's kind of out of your hands. So
yeah, but you'd have what was the lead by that point? You'd have had a 19-point lead.
Yeah.
I think it's very switched on players, what they experience to do that. Unlike who was that week before where they stopped and got injured at the 1 yard line. Then with the Bengals, Then they went to overtime, and then Joe Burrow went in and scored straight away on play after. So he had a running back who was switched on, said, "Oh, I don't want to score here because we can get it with a field goal." He went down injured at the 1. Then the next player was dialed up where, yeah, we'll go and score here, and the ball back with a minute left, and the other team came down and took it to overtime.
That should, even though they won that game, that's the sort of stuff that should get a coach fired.
Yeah, honestly,
doing that
shocking.
sort of thing.
Yeah. Next game.
All right, we might as well talk about this one. We're on the clock. Commanders 23, Buccaneers 20. The only competitive game wildcard weekend.
So bloody gutted that I couldn't watch this. And Callum telling me what it was like, and I put the highlights on the next day without looking at the score. Oh, but that looked a back and forth game, did that, and a good old Donkaroo at the end.
Yeah.
You can't just win a game normally.
I know, it really is like that, isn't it?
I heard mentions on the commentary to the Cardiac Kids, who were the old
That's right,
Browns team, the early 80s, who won seat of their pants games in a very similar way, and it eventually backfired in the AFC Championship game where they lost to the Raiders. But they were winning those sort of games all season. I can't think of another team who've been doing it consistently all season like that.
But I do. It showed, of course, it does. It always goes through the players of the quarterback and JD5, 2 touchdowns.
Steady camp.
Thank you. 2 touchdowns, ran the ball well, threw the ball well. I think, I'm not saying he's complete, no chance. Even in 2-3 years, he won't be a complete quarterback. But I think every game is a little progression with JD5, where you've seen Ball. Is it called Ball Nix? He's called Ball Nix, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because I've just watched that game draft day.
This is the 20th week of this.
I know.
He is called Bo Nix, isn't he?
I know it is. Yeah, but when I just watched draft day, of course, it's Ball Callahan, isn't it? Oh, if only you'd have told him about
It's not Bo and Luke Duke either.
And yeah, it does look good, and it just glides when he takes off. He runs. I've never ever seen him sprint. I've seen him glide and sprint. I got a cut early doors, but I think to win that game over in Tampa Bay, that's the first game of the season we're awful. We played against them at home, and they smashed us, absolutely hammered us. I think we've come on so much this season. Got better all season, and you've got to remember the Bucs last game. They put up, what were it, 4 or 5 touchdowns in their last game, and so
they struggled against the Saints though, and it was only it wasn't until the end of the third quarter they actually took the lead in that game. So.
Yeah, and I just feel both sides of the ball. If you're only giving 20 points on a defense, that means offensively you've got a chance to win a game. If you keep an offense down to 20 points or under, it does give your offense a good chance to be competitive and get a win. That's what we did. Now, would I be happy to keep the Detroit Lions under 20? Fucking hell, damn right. Because even though with their defense, I think we could still score 22, 23 points. But every game's a learning through JD5. I think that shows the difference between. No, okay, that shows the difference between.
No, I heard you.
Yeah, JD5 and Nick's. It's just that
I suspect Greggles got an edit.
Oh,
Don't even be asked to say it now.
But one thing that's come out is, and I don't like it, like the one about Cliff Kingsbury going to be head coach somewhere. Now, Cliff Kingsbury came out and said, they all say this, don't they? I love working here, but he says, I love working with this kid. I wouldn't want to give that up, working with JD5. Then they've got Joe Witt, who allegedly is wanted by one or 2 teams as a head coach.
The fitness guy.
The online YouTube dude.
Yeah, that's him. But we don't want to lose anyone because I feel we are building something here at Washington.
Do you know what? I'll say this. I love a good fairy tale in sport, and sometimes these sort of storylines do play out. And you look at some. I'll use football. Sometimes you just know when a team's looks in. And if you look at Washington season as a whole, I think it was at the 7th or the 8th sort of last minute, last play sort
But
of
it is,
win.
but it's like I said,
Edgy's
it's not-
theory is sounding like it's going to be a Commanders Chiefs Super Bowl.
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
it really does,
That's
doesn't it?
where I was going. I can totally see that. I
and
really
you
can.
know what it's going to be called? Commanders in Chief.
The Cunt
Oh,
Bowl.
God.
It,
The
it,
Cunt Bowl.
I don't mind that, but
Catchy.
I think Detroit's going to be that's going to be a tough game. I'm just
Can Washington go there and win? I think they can.
oh, of course you can because it's any given Sunday.
Edgy
Isn't
is famously on smack though.
it? It's going to be hard because you've got Jared Goff, who's a precise quarterback. He's not going to run anywhere, so that's easy to coach to go in there and say, look, he's not going to run anywhere. We don't need to worry about him breaking out of the pocket. So we've got Lattimore. Hopefully, he's going to be fit on St. Brown.
Brian says the Lions are going to win.
Oh, we'll do. So
Who
you've got
gives a fuck what he thinks?
yeah. So St. Brown and Lattimore. That'll be a good little battle. Then other side of the ball, you've got, and they've only got one running back, of course, only Gibbs. But
so yeah, it'd be interesting. Can we go there and win? Of course we can. Do I think we'll go there and win?
no,
Oh, look at that.
Oh, and a word on the Bucks because no one's mentioned them so far.
no.
They were a bit hit and miss all season. They were a bit hit and miss in this game as well.
Yeah.
But at 17-13 up, I think they were.
Yeah.
They stopped. They turned the ball over on downs in their own red zone.
Yes.
At that point, you go, have a good drive here. Maybe get even if it's a field goal or get some more points on the board, but use a big chunk of time off. And second play fumble.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
From that, Washington score touchdown, take the lead. Okay, they got it back to 20 all, but I reckon that was the game. That was the moment. Even
The
watching
momentum.
it, I went. That's the bit where it switched,
Yeah,
and it just felt like that to me watching it. So it must have felt to everyone.
Yeah. And of course, I think Detroit game. I think that's another 1 o'clock in the morning game.
Way past his bedtime. Anything post Horlicks.
Oh, I'm not the one here sat in my pajamas.
I've been in them since about 1 p.m.
He actually stood up early. He's not actually wearing any bottoms.
Whoa.
I didn't say I was wearing a complete set of pajamas.
But he's wearing socks. That's all I can say.
Yeah, well, wearing one sock. Vikings. A horrible fucking image.
Yeah.
Vikings 9,
Yep.
Rams 27.
What happened?
What have I said all season? Vikings brilliant season, but they're just going to Viking it up.
They're going to Darnold it up.
Sam Darnold is going to go back to being Sam Darnold. Looking back, this is so obviously going to happen, wasn't it?
What we were just waiting for it, weren't we? All season we've been waiting for it.
I haven't seen the game, but
Signs were there last week against the Lions. All the signs were there, weren't they?
it did sound like he imploded a bit.
It wasn't. It's not just on him. Their O-line completely let him down. He got no protection whatsoever. 9 sacks, was it?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
hefty.
But the Rams' defense has been so good as this season's gone on.
Rams are getting better and better.
They are. I would say if they hadn't got into the playoffs, I would have said they're a sleeper team for next year as well. They're already not using Cooper Kupp because they know he's not going to be there. So, but everything else looks like it's in place. They've also got the cheapest defense in the NFL because so many of them are on rookie contracts. So,
Did we all go for the Rams on this one?
no, I went for the Vikings just because I thought they're a 14-win team. They've been good.
They have been good.
It's always been at the back of my mind though. They're going to fuck this up. Huh?
One game, too many. And I think there's affected stock on where he goes and how much he gets paid. Just thinking, we've got a quarterback who's decent through the main part of the season, going to the playoff, we know he's going to Darnold it, as they say.
I still think that I'm going to give Sean McVay credit because he's looked at it probably in that game last week against the Lions, and he's looked at it and gone, this is how to get at Darnold. It's what the Lions did. We're just going to do that. And so that's what they've been practicing. Then a week off, they were relatively fresh coming into this. They were just focusing on putting pressure on Darnold, and the Vikings O-line could not stop them. It was just a fucking wave of
I think that quite quietly irks me that as well with Washington. We had Sean McVay. We also had Kyle Shanahan as coaches, and we both went on and did better things. We could have kept one of them as a head coach, but
that's what I said earlier about the Steelers not taking a risk on an OC. That's what these teams have done. They've taken risks on these young guys. Or well, Shanahan was young once, but McVay's still in his 30s, and he's they appointed him when he was like 31 or something. That's taking a risk, isn't it?
Massive risk. Yeah.
It's worked out for them, and that's the sort of risk the Steelers need to take, I think. They probably won't be as good as Sean McVay, who I think is one of the best coaches in the league.
Yes.
And in the battle of the coaches here, he won hands down. He was
So
he had everything. He got everything right in this game.
Yeah, Rams will take some beating now, I think.
The fact their defense has become so strong over the course of the season, plus the fact you've got a quarterback with an arm like Matt Stafford. You also got Nakua. You've got Williams. It's a really strong offense when it clicks. Right, it clicked last night, and they were taking players out in the last quarter as well, just rested them up for next week. If you can do that in a playoff game, fair play to you.
Technically, a road game as well.
Do we feel bad for the Vikings after the season they've had?
I don't.
They didn't do it when it mattered, did they? That's what it comes down to.
No point of going 14-2 than playing shit in a playoff game.
I think if it had been a closer game, a competitive game, then you probably could have said, "Oh, we've had a great season, we've done our best."
Thanks for coming. I'll take your bullies.
Got me bendy bully. I got me 40 quid.
Absolutely obliterated in the last 8 quarters of football. Probably is a bit of a bad taste.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this was another one. It was over so early. So many of these games weren't competitive. In the last quarter, only the Commanders Bucks game was competitive. The rest of them were over and done by then. But normally you get either the divisional round or the wildcard round, which is good. Which means because the wildcard round's been shit, divisional round should be fucking great.
If you look at some of the ties, they can't be.
Next week's predictions.
So, shall we move on to some predictions?
Shall we?
We shall say to the scores, by the way. Yeah. After the betting frenzy, I'm on 202. Daz is on 215. Edgy's on 327, and our leader.
Turns out I do know what I'm doing.
But you're now going first, which is
well,
Yeah, so Edgy going first. Go on.
Yeah, before just doing that though, Edgy. Congratulations, big week for you. But going for the reality stats, it's Edgy on 175. G on 177 and 185 for me.
No, you've missed the point.
That's not how the game works.
You just make shit up as every week you go along.
Right. Anyway, I'll cut out Daz crying like a whinging little boy.
What's the first game on the sheet? I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Texans. We've not even gone last week. Last week. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right. Greggles got 2 right, and Edgy got 4 right.
Get in.
Yeah, and I'm last.
Round. Yeah.
So I got the most wrong, and I'm last. Edgy got the most points, and he's first. Well, I don't see what your problem is.
I got the most right predictions, yet I didn't win because of this stupid points total thing.
I mean, anyway, we had a democratic vote on it.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, first one up, Edgy, it's you.
What's the first game?
Right, first game is Texans
The Browns
at Chiefs
versus the Giants.
he's in a little strop, isn't he? He's in a little strop.
Right, Texans at Chiefs. So I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, we're back tomorrow.
Nobody would have thought the Texans would have pulled that out. So
No.
you've got to consider: is this their playoff form starting to rise? Kansas haven't played in about 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So
The Texans last beat the Chiefs at the Chiefs last time they played and beat the Chiefs in Kansas.
did they?
Yeah.
It's
Edgy,
the Chiefs,
come
though,
on.
isn't it? It's the Chiefs, and I've been sort of trying to push this script for the whole bloody
The
Yeah,
Chiefs starters haven't played since Christmas Day.
yeah. But it's the Chiefs, and so I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Okay. Daz, you're second.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for.
Daz thinks he's hilarious because he knows how to. He
I've
knows how to
just seen
change.
that.
He knows how to change the font on a fucking Google Doc.
You should have put it all in white.
like he's fucking king of technology.
It took me a while to find that. To be fair,
Jeez.
because,
I'll change yours to fucking wingdings in a minute.
okay, you can't see. Oh, that's big. I can't see Chiefs getting beat on here. I think Mahomes is now going to pull out the old Mahomes of the past.
Yeah.
I think if Chiefs get through to the Super Bowl and win it, I think that'll be the end of the Chiefs anyway. I'll go for the Chiefs on here.
I should go for the Texans in the spirit of the game, shouldn't I? But realistically, the Texans surprised us all at the weekend. Can they play like that 2 weeks in a row? If they do, on the way the Chiefs have played this year, they could beat them. But I don't know if the Texans have got another performance like that in them. So
Yeah.
I'm also going for the Chiefs.
So, yeah, Edgy, who are we going for?
So Washington and Detroit.
At Detroit.
I am going to go for this is tough. Ordinarily, Detroit would be the pick, but
Yeah.
I'm just got.
You were saying earlier how the Washington
fairy tale.
are going to the Super Bowl, didn't you?
I didn't say they are going to.
You said they're going to play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. That's what you said
could
earlier.
see that could happen.
We're recording this. He said that earlier.
I did not say that. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion. Detroit are going to win. I'm going to go with
Your heart or your head.
I'm going to go with Washington for right or for wrong, but I can see it happening.
Interesting. Well, I'm going to go for Commanders as well.
They're a fucking gas leak or something. I'm going for the Lions.
Oh, because yeah.
Like, I think they'll win this really comfortably. This is going to be the blowout of the week.
That's a possibility to be that. But if, like I said, if Commanders can keep it close, I think, yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout all. I think Detroit will probably score a few.
Yeah. Next one then, Rams at the Eagles. This is a good game.
It is, and I didn't see the Rams game.
They were very impressive.
Were they?
Yeah.
So it wasn't a case that Minnesota were poor, Rams took advantage. Rams deserved.
They made them look poor.
The Rams just made the Vikings look shit.
See, we didn't really touch much on the Green Bay and the Philly game, but I don't think Philly were fluent. I think they're
solid, aren't they?
They are solid, and their
Eagles.
defense probably sort of got them the win. It wasn't the best game to watch, to be honest, but so really,
you didn't watch it.
Possibly the two contenders for Defensive Rookie of the Year going to be in this game, in Cooper DeJean and Jared Verse. So
Jared Verse is such a good player.
Yeah.
Barkley versus. I am going to go for. I had Philadelphia as my Super Bowl picks at the beginning of the season, so I'm going to have to stick with Philly.
Did you? I thought you said the Jets.
Well, no, the Jets for the Super Bowl.
I said Eagles. Who did you say?
I actually said the Chiefs, but I said it would be a Philly Chiefs final.
Okay.
Hang on, now you're changing your mind. You said it's Chiefs Commanders. Come on. The story's all over the place.
There's
I
no
think you've
script
not
here.
got that from me
There's
at all.
going to be three teams in it, and we haven't even talked about the Texans, who are obviously going to be playing.
God, it's unscripted, this, and it's like Walt
Yeah.
Disney all over again.
Isn't it?
This is why he has
So,
trouble choosing a team to support.
I don't
I'm-
have to. The Chiefs. I mean,
Eagles for Edgy.
Yeah. Rams have been playing.
look at those fonts, you cocks.
Eagles have been playing lights out football for quite a while. Rams seem to be getting better, but I can't see past the Eagles at this moment in time. When you think about it, it could be the Eagles Commanders or Eagles Lions as a conference game.
Yeah,
I'm going to go for
it. Could be Eagles Lions. Yeah,
it. Could be Rams versus Lions or Rams versus Commanders.
It could be Rams against Lions. Yeah,
It could be Rams versus Texans if Texans get knocked out by Chiefs. Not sure yet.
The Texans are always on standby just in case.
The 33rd team. I'm going to go for the Eagles as well, but this is a strange one. I'm going to predict this one. Eagles will win this big.
You got to predict all of them. That's how we do this.
So Eagles are going to win big, and if Rams are going to win, they'll win small.
Right, okay.
Fair enough. There's
I haven't been asked to question it, to be honest.
very late. I'm not going to dive into this.
I'm just blown away by font gate.
I like the Rams. They started 1-4, and they're in the divisional round. The thing about the Eagles is they are so consistent.
Okay.
I would really like the Rams to win, but realistically,
I would.
In Philly, it's got to be the Eagles.
Yeah, I'd like the Rams to win for obvious reasons as well. But
I'd like Sean McVay. So why not?
The last game, Ravens.
The last game,
Bills.
Edgy Ravens.
Are we calling this?
The three seed
the
against
best.
the 2 seed.
This is the toughest call.
Is this the MVP playoff?
So who's at home? Buffalo.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man! How'd you call this one?
Do you pick
I
one?
ain't going first.
That's why I deliberately tanked last week.
Yeah. I mean, this is gonna be the game of the weekend, isn't it? I don't think there's any doubt about
On
that.
paper, it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Baltimore because I think
He's gone for Baltimore because he thinks it will annoy me more.
I mean that's
surely not.
a happy accident, but I think Derrick Henry against the Bills defense is the key at Baltimore.
It's a tough one to call, this one.
And as we all know, the Bills are shit because we've been saying it all year.
Yeah, we right start of season, and we've stuck by it as well.
Exactly.
How many times have these two met and Josh Allen have come out on top? It seems to be a lot.
I'm trying to think of any like classic Bills Ravens games. I think the last time they played, the Ravens won comfortably. But
Jackson is 3-1 up against Allen in the regular season.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is Jackson in the playoffs, isn't it?
Yeah. Have they met in playoffs? They must have met.
I don't think they have because the Bills normally face the Chiefs, don't they?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
No, not. But for me, it's almost like there was this big cloud over Jackson's head. Can he do playoff games? I think all that's past him now. So I'm going to go for the Ravens as well.
Just on a side note, do these games count as part of the MVP decision?
Well, officially it hasn't been decided yet, which means that this could be an MVP playoff.
It could be decided.
That's exactly what it is, I think.
Realistically, they've already decided.
Yeah.
And this won't have any effect. It would just make it look stupid if they go for whoever loses this game.
Well, it'll be Mahomes, won't it? So
After the 5th week, it was decided.
So
not far
again,
off that. It's ludicrously early they vote on.
Just to sort of off track a little bit, do they announce the MVP before the Super Bowl?
I think they announced it at the awards night, which is I'm trying to remember when that is. It's after the Super Bowl.
What I'm getting at is if Mahomes wins the third,
No, they can't. They can't suddenly claim that he's had a good season because of that.
I think, of course they can, because it's fucking.
They can't because no one thinks he has.
My guess here, Bills and Ravens. You're going to go Bills because it's the Ravens. You never go for the Ravens.
I'm going for the team I think will win.
And just put
Texans.
Buffalo in.
It just happens in this instance that it's not the Ravens. All right, the stakes and points.
Points time, baby.
Chiefs first. Texans at Chiefs. We've all gone for Chiefs. How many points do you want to stick on it, Edgy?
Are we typing in chat?
Oh yeah, this is how we did it, isn't it? I've forgotten that. I thought we did it in order. All right, so 1, 2, 3.
Oh, fuck! I've done it again. I'm like,
well, no, if it works,
well,
it works.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's me thinking.
All right, so Edgy has gone 125. Daz has gone 20. I've gone 22. Next game, Commanders at Lions. I've got the Lions. You two have got the Commanders.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Let me type into the right bit. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Greggles going all in.
Well, this is the one I'm most confident on. Leaves me very few. If I get all 4 of these wrong, I've got nothing
You're
left
out.
to say. Rams at Eagles. We've all gone Eagles. So on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Daz has gone 50. Edgy's gone 10. I've gone 20. Make sure I've got some points left. Yeah, okay. Finally, Ravens at Bills. I've gone for the Bills. You two have gone for the Ravens. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I've gone 2. Edgy's gone 10. Daz has gone 25. Maybe I wasn't that confident on the Bills win. So, how many points has Edgy played with? Edgy has played with about half of his points.
Yeah.
155 in total. So he's going to have a nice amount left for the week after.
Yeah.
Daz has staked 100 of his points.
Yeah.
I've staked all but 10 of my points.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
Go big or go home, yeah. So if the Lions let me down, I am fucked. There'll be no mathematical way that I'd be able to catch you. So
5,
Come on, Washington.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got.
Oh, hang on, Daz is counting. So
No, it's okay. So I'm just looking at the proper scores where I'm on 8-5. I think I'm uncatchable now.
there are no proper scores. What are you on about? These are the proper scores.
Yeah, no, the proper scores is in the most predicted teams to win. In fact,
That's not how this works.
in fact, I think Brian was out there a couple of times. I wanted to pick Dallas over Giants because they hate both teams, and I weren't allowed to pick Dallas, and Dallas won both times.
I can't believe how much of a strop
You're
he's in
not
over
using that as a fucking excuse. We all could have done that.
Just saying.
Fuck's sake. Luckily, Daz, everything's fine because you've got double sand pit tomorrow.
It's well, you've got to think about it like G never picks the Ravens because he hates the Ravens.
That's not true. I picked the Ravens loads of times this season.
Apart from the times you chose them, of course.
Yeah. Like all those times you claim you didn't pick the Vikings, even though you did it like 90% of the games.
So going all the way back, let's go back half an hour for our second team to follow. This is what I brought up. Okay, second team to follow. This is massive. This is massive.
Oh, this was your proposal, wasn't it?
This is my proposal. Yeah,
I forgot about that.
So the proposal is.
I hadn't. I was hoping everyone else had.
The proposal is as follows: we each order a mystery kit, and that's a team we have got not to follow, but to look out for. But with rules is it cannot be Dallas.
Well, you can, like we said,
there's two.
Exclude it, can't you?
Yeah, there's 2 to exclude. So Dallas is one.
Dallas and Baltimore.
Well, you'd have to.
Yeah.
Greggles would have to exclude Dallas, Baltimore, and Washington.
Yeah.
Because you don't want him to have Washington, do you?
No, we don't. We can't, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, obviously,
I don't know. We don't hear about the exploits of Washington enough on this fucking podcast.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, that's
I'd
fine.
be up for that. I'd be up for
Yeah,
that.
and we Edgy, then that means our second teams can't be Arizona, can't be Jacksonville, it can't be Tennessee.
Yeah, you're fucked, you lot are.
It leaves us with 3 teams to go for: Browns, Vegas.
Cleveland.
I reckon it should be a hat. And then
love-
when we get to that section, we put the hat on.
To be fair, they do mystery hats, I think. So
Do they?
yeah,
What sort of hats?
like baseball caps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think we should do that. And we can put down 2 teams we don't like, one being Dallas, and there's another team. Oh, no, we can't do it more because we can't have, for G, we can't have Cardinals, you can't have Washington.
Yeah, exactly. So exclude each other's teams.
I can't have
Dallas.
Arizona, I can't have Pittsburgh.
And he
as well.
can't have Baltimore because we're
Yeah.
never at the fucking end of it.
I know. Those twats won again. Move on.
These cheating cunts. We had 3 minutes to fill.
Yeah,
So
and
Daz, we'll get this done in an hour tonight.
I'm glad that Edgy brought up unbelievable. So he's posted a tweet, bless him, and he was made. Now, is this something to be excited about? Because you got the Pro Bowl and you get selected, and it's bullshit in it. They didn't get selected, so he got second team All Pro. Is that something to be pleased about?
It's a participation award, that isn't it?
Yeah, it's like the kid that in the school team who used to like turn up every
crayons.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, but he used to turn up every week.
yeah.
He was
Guy's happy.
his position was substitute permanently. We played Sunday League once, and we had this guy who always turned up and was really enthusiastic, but we never gave him a game. But we always named him as a sub because essentially there were only 12 of us, and we were allowed 2 subs. So we always named this guy as a sub and never brought him on. Last game of the season, after we'd already made 1 sub, one of our players got injured, and we still didn't bring him on.
Don't go and collect corner flags afterwards.
Yeah.
But
I'd say
we were literally laughing about it while the game was going on.
That's on him. Why would you keep
I know that,
turning up?
I'm going to go.
We never knew.
Did I tell you that story as well about we had a manager when I played Sunday League football, and he last played Sunday League about 17 years before, we were last game at season, and used to have sponsors on, and it was like felt. It was felt letters.
Your Sunday League team was sponsored by Felt.
Fuzzy felt. No, I know what you mean.
But that was on. It was like that, and it come off in wash. Yeah. And we were sponsored by Viscount Central Coaches.
Oh,
right?
see where this is going.
Yeah. So yeah, and it did but it did do that with a lot of them. But that's not the story. So we're playing this team from, I think it was Rottenstall or Ramsbottom, and it was close. I think it was pointless. No one give a shit if you wouldn't have lost at Sunday League. So with 5 minutes to go, manager goes, let us come on. Look, I'm going to retire after this game. You're on it, manager. I've always wanted to score a goal or just come on one last time. Yeah, no worries. What we on the sideline? He had his jeans on, a coat on. We weren't even a name sub, but we cleared it at ref. Yeah, that's fine. So one of our lads, John, come off. Yeah, all right then. Lend us your top. Fuck off. So I didn't get the top. Then he goes, lend us your shorts. He goes, fuck off. He goes, well, lend us your socks. Fuck off. Lend us your boots. Fuck off. So anyway, he couldn't play in jeans. The referee said, no, you're not coming on just playing in jeans. You've got to wear shorts. You've got to wear a top. No worries. So one of the subs who'd been sub gave him a top. He took his jeans off and he come on with these white pair of boxer shorts, right? And with lips on. Okay. So he's got these lips, and his socks were, if you can remember, Terry socks. The white toweling socks.
Yeah.
Then. Oh, school sports day socks.
Yeah, them are them. Yeah, so we had 2 of them, and plimsolls. That's his name.
I'm gonna get battered.
Oh, he's lucky he wasn't made to do it in his pants. If he forgot his kit.
We had a corner, right? And he stood on penalty spot, and their keeper shouts out, mark him is free. And then someone said, not mark him, that's
He's not going nowhere near him.
not marking this guns. And anyway, so because marking is free, and because I'm not fucking marking, the referee comes over and goes, can you tuck your knob?
qbscpod@gmail.com.
The big thing was for Washington was getting JD5.
Very cunt.
Thank you. Because he plays with poise, he plays with grace, and people were putting him with
Why
RG3.
don't you fucking marry him?